guys, and welcome back to another tutorial. In today's lesson, we're going to be covering a custom component. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating a library with a contained GUI, which we can edit using code, and then it'll pop up. So if you've ever used a JOptionPane, we're basically recreating a JOptionPane with the yes/no dialog. And then we have a message that goes in the middle, and then a title that goes on the top. So it'll look something like the custom component title that you guys can see on a frame. So what I've done is I've created this in Photoshop. I've provided the Photoshop in the project resource pack, as well as this GUI. And I'm just going to remove my logo in the one that I sent to you guys. So you guys can put your own logo in there and then carry on working from where I am. So what I've done is I've created 4 labels. One is to be the title, one is a question, and then the yes and no buttons, which you can edit in the Photoshop file. So the reason why you would want to do this is because you can reuse this in multiple different projects, and all you have to do is copy the 2 libraries over into the next project, import it in, and then you can reuse the class over and over again. And you can also send this to your friends, so your friends can use it. Anyone on the internet can use it if they download it, so it's up to you what you guys want to use it for. It just makes life a little bit easier and teaches you some new skills. So before we get started, the reason why I haven't made any videos is because I had exams, and I just finished 2 days ago. Currently I have no internet either, so I cannot upload any videos. I'm just stuck here making these videos. Currently I have, you guys can see I have 2 gameplays here. I have 1 video getting ready to be uploaded as well. So every day there'll be 1 tutorial and then 1 gameplay, 1 tutorial, 1 gameplay. I'm just trying to practice my gameplay commentary skills so that when games like Watch Dogs come out, I can make videos for you guys. So okay, let's get started with this video. We've already wasted 2 minutes. So the first thing we want to do is we want to create our JFrame, and I've already done that. And once again, 4 labels and then the background, of course. So once we have that done, we're pretty much done on this side. Now we're going to go over to a new class. So we're going to create a new Java class in our package, and then name it anything you want. So I'm going to name mine J. Let's go JMessagePane. Click on OK, and then just remove this ugly code that it gives us with. Now in here we're going to have only 1 method. So this method is going to be called public void display pane. So this will actually display the pane. Now in the pane we want to set 2 parameters. Okay, so we want a string for the title, and we want another string for the question that shows up. So once again, title will appear on the top, and also the title will be set to the entire JFrame, because if you look at Audacity, you guys can you guys can see that when you hover over it, it gives you the name of the program, which is called Audacity. So if we don't set the title of our actual GUI or our JFrame, that won't show up, but it will show up on the top here, because remember, we're using an undecorated JFrame, so it doesn't have all the fancy stuff that a normal JFrame comes with. So in here, actually before we get into the method, we want to just leave a space after public class JMessagePane, and then we're going to create a public static mainframe. So the mainframe is basically the same name of our frame. You guys can see it's called mainframe.java, so mainframe, and then just give it a name. So we're going to name it frame equals new mainframe. So we're creating an object of the mainframe class, which contains our GUI. Then we're simply going to say frame dot set visible to be true, so that you guys can actually see the frame. Now before we get any further, you guys want to run your project, and then you want to select mainframe to be the main class, so that this will show up, just a blank. It's not really blank, but there's nothing going on there. So we're just going to close that. So if that works, then we're good to go. So the next thing we want to do is we want to say frame.setTitle. So this will handle the title of the frame, which will take the same parameter as you guys can see on the top. Then we want to create another one. Now this one's going to be the title that shows up in our actual form. So the setTitle method handles with the actual JFrame. So if we actually did have a JFrame, it'll show up on the top like this. But since we don't, we're using it so that it shows up like on this Audacity sign. So in order to actually get this this label to be accessed from another class, what we have to do is right click on it, go down to properties, go into the code, and then change the variable modifiers to be public and then static. Usually it comes as private and that's it, but you want to change it to public static. And you want to do the same thing with the question label as well. So once you have that done, what we do is we type in mainframe dot title, and you guys can see the J label pop up. Then we can say .set text, once again the title. So this mainframe is the same mainframe over here, which is the same mainframe of our class, which is the one right here. So the next thing we want to do is we want to set the message. So after the titles, we're going to type in mainframe.question, because that's the name of the J label that I have set up in the mainframe. .set text, and this will go with question. So right now this handles everything that we need to do, almost. So if we run this right now, what will happen is you'll get your question pop up, and then you'll get the title pop up, and you'll also get the title in the taskbar, so that'll also show up. Now what you should also do is you should add a app icon. I'm not going to do that right now though. So the next thing we want to do is we want to actually handle the yes and no button. So in our mainframe, right click on the yes button, go down to events, mouse release, and the first thing we want to do is we want to say this.dispose. So when you click on it, the frame disappears, and you essentially want to do the same thing for the no button. So we're going to say this.dispose as well, and that'll dispose the messages. So if we run it and you click on yes, it'll just go away, and then that'll end. If you run it and click on no, it'll end, and then it'll also go away. So what I've done here on the top is I've added a boolean. Now public static boolean option is equal to false. Option is a variable name. By default it's set to false. Boolean means it's true or false, only 2 states. And then static means it can be accessed from any other class. So we're going to be accessing this variable from the JMessagePane class. So when you click on the no button, before you dispose it, what you want to do is you want to set option to be false. Option equals false. And then if you click on the yes button, you want to say option is equal to true. So if you click on yes, the option changes from false to be true. And then if true basically means yes, false basically means no. And then you can do whatever you want from there. So we're going to create another method called getState. So public static, it's called public void. No, actually public boolean getState. Now we're going to type in return temp. Then we're going to create a variable called temp. So we're going to say public boolean temp equals to false. We're going to create an if statement. Now in this if statement, oh goodness, delete the public, just say boolean temp equals false. In this if statement, we're going to be doing what we did with the title and the question, which is this one right here. So we're just going to say mainframe, oh wait, I don't know why I copied the whole thing. Mainframe dot option, you guys can see it shows up right there. Mainframe dot option, if mainframe dot option equals false, let's go true actually. If it's equal to true, we want to set temp to be true. And let's just have an else if. I'm going to copy this, and then we're just going to change true to be false. And then this one as well. And just change this to be false. There you go, and that's done. So we want to go back to the mainframe.java, and then after, just before we dispose, what we want to do is we want to say JMessagePane. Actually, let's create one on top here. Okay, so we're going to create an object of the JMessagePane class. So JMessagePane JMP is equal to new JMessagePane, and then over here we can just type in jmp.getState. Why don't you fill in the semicolon for me? And then also over here jmp.getState. Okay, so what the getState will do is it'll actually not only get the state that you clicked, but it'll also store it in this temp variable so that you can use it a little bit later from a different class, which is what we're going to be doing. So now that we have that, let's just create a system.out. So sout, and then click on tab, and then let's just print out the temp variable. Okay, so once we've done that, compile and build, and you guys will see, if you look, this one right here, you guys can see copy to libraries, and then it's got your your URL. So you have 2 URLs for the jars. You have one to the lib file, which is what we want. So we're just going to copy, actually let's copy the second one, the one that says building jar. So copy it, copy this all the way to the end. Actually, let's copy it to the dist folder. which is this one right here. I'm sorry guys. Let's copy this one, let's create the dir. Open up your file manager and then just paste it in, and you guys will see it's taken us to our distribution folder. So if we simply click on custom component, you guys will see it'll actually launch up this. So click on no. So let's copy this custom component to the desktop. Okay, and that is because I don't think it finished run. Okay, so I'm not too sure what's going on here. I'm just going to copy this. I'm not going to move it. You can move it if you want though. So paste it there, and then also you want to paste your layout, which will probably also be in use. Yep. I'm not too sure what's using it, but let's copy the absolute layout as well. Okay, so now that we have that, good to go. Now you want to use your own project. So I've created a test project right here, which has a mainframe and just one button. So when you click on the button, it'll open up our Okay, so I sorted out that error we were getting. Okay, so we have this button. So when we click on the button, we want our message thing to pop up. Now in order for our message thing to pop up, we have to copy these two libraries into this folder right here, this component test project. So we want to click on the files option, which will take you to your Netbeans directory and it'll show your project. So because I'm using the component test project, I'm going to expand this, and you can see I made a folder called libs, and I already imported these two, but just create a new folder. So right click on it, go down to that, click on folder, you create a new folder, called it libs, and then just copy these two into there. And okay, that obviously didn't work. I don't really use this file, but it's there, so we might as well use it. There we go. So once those two are in there, we can go back to our projects, right click on it, go down to properties, go down to libraries, that should be remove, and then you want to add a jar/folder. It'll take you to your libs folder. If it doesn't, you want to go to your Netbeans projects folder, then your folder, then your libs, the folder that you just created, and then you want to select both of these. Click on open, click on OK, and it's already imported. So now when you click on the button, we're going to create an instance of the class with the JMessagePane. Now I've already typed this out over here in this other project. So now what happens is it tells you basic code refers to the following not imported elements. Now the imported element is com.techniqueindustry.messagepane.jmessagepane, which is essentially what you guys see here, com.techniqueindustries.messagepane.jmessagepane. So that's pretty cool. So once it's imported, you guys can see the imports up there. It'll obviously be whatever package name over here, and then your class name. So once you have that in there, you want to type in jmp.displayPane. Okay. So in here, the first one we accept is the title. So let's type in something like tutorial feedback. Okay, tutorial feedback, and then in the second option, you want to type in your question. So, did you enjoy this tutorial? Okay, so that's all you really need. Now when you click on run and you click on the J button, you can see it shows up. It's really cool. I'm not sure why that's showing up, but whatever. You guys can see, if you guys can see right here, it says tutorial feedback. That's why we had to set the title. That's why we said frame.setTitle, because if we didn't, it'll look like this with nothing over there. So it's always good to do that. And then we also have the same title in this tutorial feedback on this text field in the middle, which makes it look like this one. Then we have the question, which says, did you enjoy this tutorial? Question mark. You guys can see it matches up. So if we click on yes, you guys will see it returns true for us to actually use in other, whatever else we want to do. So just to prove the concept, it returns true, and then it'll actually save it. Okay, so let's make another button and paste it right here, right? And let's edit the text and then say test. No, actually let's say get option. So when you click on this get option, you want to go to events, action performed, or you can just double click it. And then here we're going to type in jmp.getState. Now it won't, it'll give us an error, because let's get this jmp out of this block and then paste it in on the top right here. There we go. So now we can access it only once. We only need one instance of the class, or one object of the class, and we can access it everywhere. So when we click on the second button, it'll tell us whether we clicked yes or no previously. So J button 1, did you enjoy this tutorial? Yes, I did. Returns true. Now if I click on get option, it should also return true. There we go. Now if we try this again and click on no, it returns false. If we click on get option, it returns false as well. So you can access this again and again wherever else you want to access it to do whatever it is you want to do. So just for proof of concept, I know this tutorial is a bit long, but whatever. You guys can stop the video now if you want. This is just for those folk who want to actually learn something. So we're going to cut this out and put in an if statement. So if jmp.getState equals true, then we want to say something like, s out. This is a shortcut. If you type in SOUT, it stands for system.out, and then you click on tab, it'll give you that. So if it is equals true, then I'd like to tell you guys thanks. No, actually, I'm glad you enjoyed this video. And then else, so if it's false, then we're going to say system.out.println I'm sorry I couldn't please your pleasures. There we go. So now when you run this, let's click on J button 1. Did you enjoy this tutorial? Yes, I did. It returns true. And then we click on get option, it says true again. I'm glad you enjoyed this video. Now if you click on false, also click on get option, you guys can see it repeats the same thing over and over. So if you click on J button 1, did you enjoy this tutorial? No, I didn't. It says false, get the option. I'm sorry I couldn't please your pleasures. So if you want to get rid of the true and the false popping up, which you most likely do want to do, you want to go back to your jmessagepane.java, and then you just simply want to remove, oh, what happened here? Oh my, okay. Okay, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened there. But you just want to simply remove this system.out.println line, save it, compile, build, and then copy the libs back over into this files. You know what to do. Did I explain how to actually get the libs out of it? Yeah, I did. But if you don't know how to do it without using the URL, click on the custom component project or whatever project you're working on, expand it, go down to the dist folder, and you guys can see the component.jar, and you can just drag it up to the libs. Open up, don't forget to include the absolute layout.jar, otherwise nothing will show. So then drag and drop that also into your libs folder, and then you should be good to go. So you can reuse this over and over again. You can actually delete this project and still use the libraries as long as you have it. So you guys can see all it takes is creating an object, which is really simple, and then it takes one line of code, jmp.display your two parameters, and then you can use your get state, true or false, to do whatever it is that you want to do. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. If you did, please don't forget to leave us a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. I have a whole bunch of tutorials coming out daily as soon as my internet gets back online. So hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial, and thanks for watching.